What's up, guys? Welcome to Parlay Power Hour for July 2021. Thank you to Grant. I got stumbled there because Will never does this job. Thank you to Grant for changing the date here. Appreciate it because Will does not do his job.
When did it become my job?
It's always been your job, Will.
It was never my job. I did it one day, and you're like, "Oh, thanks, Will," and then that was it.
You messed it up one day.
That was your fault for changing it after. So
listen,
that was on me.
The fact that you have to ask the question, when did it become my job, means you're just so unprepared for doing your job. Well, that's what it comes down to. Anyways, let's get into this. All right. Parlay Power Hour, July 20th, 2021. This is the best hour of your day. It's obviously the best hour of your day. It's the best hour of our day, out of our awesome days. Subscribe to the Sports 2.0 network on YouTube. What are we at? We're at like 7:15, 7:20 in that range?
Yes, somewhere around there.
Grant, it's all because of you.
That's what you said yesterday, and then you proceeded to hate on me for the whole show. So I don't know what kind of mind games you're playing at here, but I'm not for it.
I never hated on you yesterday. I just said the people love me. The people wanted my MLB picks. That's why I didn't hate on you.
Emotions.
What?
You're toying with Grant's emotions.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for real. He's creating an unstable work environment. I'm reporting you to HR.
Okay, all right. Let's stop trying to cancel me. Okay, I'm just stop trying to cancel the freaking show. All right. SugarHouse Sportsbook, code Sports20, $250 deposit match on SugarHouse Sportsbook. This is for New Jersey only. Okay, so the Phillies are playing the Yankees tonight. The Phillies will win that game. If you want to waste your money and bet on the Yankees, do it with SugarHouse Sportsbook, $250 deposit match. If you want to make a good bet, probably bet who the Mets playing tonight. I don't even know who the Mets are playing tonight. I know who the Mets are playing tonight. Who we got?
I used to know.
Oh, the Mets are playing the Reds.
Yeah. Mets against, and they're Wade Miley's on the bump. So probably not a good idea to bet the Mets either. But you could save this money for when the Yankees play like the Baltimore Orioles and maybe, make some money off it. But anyways, New Jersey, SugarHouse Sportsbook, code Sports20, $250 deposit match. I love chirping Yankees fans. Let's get into the show. Grant, the one and only Mitchell, 77-64 on the season. Grant's got like double the number of bets that I have because all he does is just make 15 million bets a day. But Grant, why do you like this?
Why do I like this? Why do I like my record?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
like it. So I don't like it.
I don't love it. I mean, I'm still at that 55 win percentage, which is good. If you're over 50%, obviously you're making money. And I mean, you joked about it, but I do have a pretty big sample size here, so I've kind of established myself as being able to win some money with my picks. Went 1-3 yesterday. Picked the Blue Jays to cover the spread or the run line against the Sox. It went down 8-0 in the first inning, which wasn't good for that. But I also picked the over in the game, so we split there. Then I missed my next two games. It is what it is. We're coming back strong today.
There you go. Love the mentality. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I love the mentality. Will the Wizard Reed, 50-43 on the year. How you doing?
Not too bad. I finally cleared the 50 win mark in these bets. Now it looks a lot better than a 49 and 40 whatever that I had yesterday. But I'm feeling pretty good. I think yesterday I went 1-1. Another bet push, so you know how that is. That's what my typical lifestyle. But the Nationals absolutely destroyed the over yesterday. They won 18-1, so I was pretty pleased to see that as a Nationals fan and as a bettor. So I'm feeling pretty good.
Now, I said that wasn't going to happen again today. I said the offensive explosion was not going to happen again today. Do you believe that?
I mean, Trevor Rogers on the bump for the Marlins. I could see it not happening, but the Nationals are the third best team against the lefties in the MLB, so we'll see.
Okay, the kid's prepared. All right, Tanner Kern, 51-38 on the season. I want to publicly apologize. I want to apologize to the fans, the Parlay Power Hour USA Wager fans, because I bet off emotion yesterday, and I shouldn't have done that. I bet the Dodgers with Tony Gonsolin on the bump against Kevin Guzman for the Giants, and it showed yesterday. I'm going to be honest with you, so I apologize for that. Am I going to do that again today? I'm not betting the Dodgers today, but I am taking the Dodgers today. And I don't care if you don't think it's the right pick. This is my show. So I really didn't even apologize there. I could do what I want. Go Dodgers, best team in baseball. Grant, let's start with you. Bucks -5, Suns under 222. You see, you write why don't you just put them on two separate banners? I don't understand it. You got the Bucks -5. You got the.
I'm consolidating and optimizing.
There should have been a dash. There should have been a dash next to the Suns under 222. I'm staying away from this game because you know what? Suns in 4. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we had a good run and it's done. So I'm not even talking about it. I'm mourning the loss of the Phoenix Suns. All right, Grant, talk to me about this.
So yeah, I mean, regardless of if you think the Bucks or the Suns are going to win, Scott Foster is refereeing the game. Now, for those people who don't know the history between Scott Foster and Chris Paul, we don't know why, but they hate each other. And Chris Paul has lost 11 straight games in which Scott Foster has been the head referee, dating back to 2019. The calls that Scott Foster makes are just ridiculous. Even in the games that Chris Paul isn't playing in, he's an absolute joke, in my opinion. He's got to be the worst referee in basketball. They've had some horrendous ones over the years, but he takes the crown in today's NBA. But you know, if you want to set that aside and look at the actual matchup, the Milwaukee Bucks big three is simply better than the Suns big three. If you can call him that. I know Ayton is still a young player, and he wouldn't quite normally be grouped in that, but for argument purposes, we'll put him in there. The Bucks, they've found their rhythm. They're at home. Will's harped on it before in the show. They've only lost once at home throughout the entire playoffs. The Suns had not choked a double-digit lead in the playoffs until they threw away a 16-point first quarter lead last game. And they were down 3 going into halftime. All signs are saying Milwaukee wins this game. And knowing the Bucks, that means they're probably going to lose by 40. But it is what it is. I'll take the Bucks to win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the Bucks. I'm not on the Bucks train. I'm still on the Suns train, but I'm just kind of sad. That's what I think about this game. Now, Will, you have a lot of prop bet. You have 2 prop bets here. Over 32.5 points and rebounds. Now, you have the stupid bet where you usually do points, rebounds, and assists. So now you just said, let me take the assist and make it even more stupid. All right, over 32.5. Why do you like this bet?
Well, Khris Middleton has been the closer for the Bucks in this series. I mean, Giannis has been the best player, but when they need buckets late, they go to Khris Middleton, and it showed in the past 2 games, in Game 4 and Game 5. Middleton scored, I believe, 40 points or 41 points in Game 4, around 29 in Game 5, and he's just really been like the closing machine for the Bucks. And he's averaged just around 6.5 rebounds this series. I think he's been alternating from 6 to 7 in each game this series. So I think he's going to or grab a few rebounds in this game. Probably gets around 28, 29 points. So he only needs to get around 4 or 5 rebounds. I think this is a pretty easy bet.
Yeah, Grant, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I like this one. If we're going with my logic that the Bucks are going to win this game, Middleton's probably going to have at least 25. Probably actually more even if they do win the game. And then 6-7 rebounds is nothing out of the ordinary. That's basically just routine for a player of his caliber and importance, playing 40 minutes in this game. He could grab 10 and it wouldn't be anything to see or anything to look at funny. Like you could just say, yeah, that's to be expected of a guy who's going to play that many minutes. So yeah, got no problems with this one.
Yeah, I like this bet as well. Again, not really talking about Suns Bucks because I'm just really upset right now. Anyways, let's go to the diamond, then we'll bounce back to the hardwood. Bounce back. You see that?
I caught it.
See that? I just want to make sure you did because I didn't catch it in my brain before I said it, but when it came out, I realized it actually sounded pretty cool. All right, Red Sox. Now, let's not talk about the Red Sox right now. Let's talk about the Orioles. Orioles plus 1.5. You rarely get underdogs on the run line for value in Major League Baseball. So this is a good bet. I do like this bet. Orioles beat the Rays yesterday, shockingly, 6-1. I mean, that's the thing about the Orioles. Some days they show up, other days they don't. The Rays have not been playing good baseball. They've won 2 of their past 5. The Orioles have won 3 straight games. And guess who's back on the bump today, boys? Guess who's back?
It's John Means.
It's John Means Day. It's John Means Day. I love John Means so much. I'm a little scared because the dude hasn't pitched in a very long time because of injuries, but he's 4-2, got like a 2.3 ERA on the season. It's been sensational when he's on the bump. He's going against McClanahan today. I think the Rays do win this game, but if the Orioles bats can keep this game close, I think Means gives a decent effort. I mean, the Orioles have nothing to look forward to this year, honestly. The only thing they have to look forward to is like the season being over. So they're going to let Means go today. I doubt he's going to throw 3 innings unless I haven't read the Orioles reports for the day and they're only going to put him out there 2 or 3 innings. If that's the case, I'm probably going to lose this bet. I will check that before this game because that's probably pretty smart to do. But I do like the Orioles at +1.5 today versus the Rays. What do you guys think?
No, I have no quarrels with this, as Grant usually likes to use that word, but I have no quarrels with this bet. John Means heard him back. No, he's used it a few times on the show. But,
yeah, come on.
You made it sound like it's his trademark. Like,
oh no.
I
just listen to Grant when he talks.
All right, let Will talk, Grant. Come on.
No, I mean, with John Means returning back, I was highly considering betting this one too, and with the odds, it looks pretty good, especially coming off of their 6-1 win yesterday. So I'm riding high on the Orioles for now.
Yeah, Grant, were you riding high on the Orioles?
Well, I'm actually riding high on the pitching. I know John Means is coming back, and so it might be a little rusty. That's obviously a situation to monitor. But McClanahan has been pretty good lately. I know he's up at a 4 ERA for the year, which isn't horrible, but it's not great. But in his last 5 starts, I think he's around 26 innings, only 10 earned runs allowed. So that's pretty good. I think we might be. I know we would say the Orioles are probably the team that is most likely to hit the over. But I think this could be a relatively low-scoring game. But the Orioles did just win the first game, and very convincingly so. So I like them to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game as well. We looked at what the Rays have done this season. They've kind of won with everything, and they had a dominant lineup at one point in the year. It's kind of starting to fade a little bit. They don't have that offensive firepower like they used to. But, I mean, it's still there, obviously. They just haven't been showing up as much lately. So I'm going to go with the Orioles +1.5. I think it's a good bet. All right, Grant, let's no, we're not going to go to Grant here. We're going to go to Will because Will's got a basketball bet, and then we'll go back to baseball, America's sport. Devin Booker over 30.5 tonight. I like this one. I think he's going to score about 29.5 though, so you're probably going to lose this.
Well, I'll bring back up what I said on our little shot clock violation show last week when I mentioned to my contestant Amber, or one of our contestants Amber, that
the if one that beat you, right?
We won't talk about that. I should have won, but we'll move past it. If the Suns want to win this series, it's going to be on the shoulders of Devin Booker, and that showed in the last 2 games. I think he's scored. I mean, Grant, I don't know if you know the exact numbers, but it's been over 40 in at least one of them, and it might have been both games. But he's been.
Yeah, it's 40 and 42.
Yeah, he's been dominant for the Suns, but it hasn't turned out for victories. I think he's going to score again. I do think the Bucks are going to win this game and finish off the series, but not without a hard effort from Devin Booker in this game.
See, I think, Devin Booker's got to be a big part of the Suns tonight to win, but I also think Chris Paul's got to score. When Chris Paul's scoring, this team is better. If these two work together tonight, we could be going to Game 7, and we go to Game 7, I'm back on the Suns in 4 train. I don't think it's going to happen, but if it is, Suns in 4. Grant, what are your thoughts?
The Suns in 4 is dead in the water. Scott Foster is refereeing the game. The Chris Paul, it doesn't matter if he puts on the Bucks uniform and plays for Milwaukee, then the Bucks will lose. Wherever Chris Paul is, Scott Foster will not let him win. That aside, Devin Booker in this series, if you can basically write off the game in which he had 10 points in Game 3. He was dealing with a hamstring tightness. He looked pretty bad in warmups. The Suns thought he was going to be out for the whole series. And we didn't know that at the time. We thought he just played a horrible game, but turns out, he was really bothered by that hamstring. So if you write that off, you look at the other 4 games, 27, 31, 42, 40. And the team needs him more than ever. Tanner, you kind of talked about it. That's almost a bad thing because, when they need Booker to do everything for them, all of a sudden they're the worst team in basketball again, like they were a couple of years ago. When they have Chris Paul providing those 20, 25 points, Mikal Bridges getting 10, 15, DeAndre Ayton getting 20, that's when they're that team that became the number 2 seed in the West. But I do think they've devolved into Devin Booker or bust. I think he goes over 30, and I think the Suns lose.
Yeah, I kind of think that's going to happen. Great. I hope it doesn't. I hope you're right, Will, because if Devin Booker goes over 30.5, they probably win this game tonight. But Sorry, it's probably not going to happen. All right, Nationals money line, Marlins. Oh, okay. Wait, I gotta read this slowly, or I'm gonna jumble it all together. Nationals money line versus the Marlins and the over of 9 runs. Grant, I hate the over in this game. I don't like. I know the Nationals scored 1 million runs yesterday, but I don't like this one because Trevor Rogers is on the mound. Why do you like this?
Yeah, Trevor Rogers. I think it's safe to say we're all fans. You're probably the biggest one of us all. Obviously, he was in the All-Star game. He's been great so far this season. But Will brought it up. The Nationals have found success against left-handed pitchers. Soto has been going insane lately. And if you look at the Nationals' last few games, 18-1, 8-7, 10-4, 24-8. 3-1, 10-4, 5-3, 9-8, 15-5. Like they have just been racking it up on both ends. Win or lose, the game is going over. So with Trevor Rogers, it wouldn't be horrible. You could still say it's a decent outing if he gives up 3, maybe even 4 earned runs. And then the Nationals can easily score another 3 or 4 against the replacement. And obviously the Marlins are going to score their bit too. Espino's been solid as well. But over 9, I think we're going over with the way the Nats have been hitting the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this one and I would say, yeah, I don't want to bet the under here, but I don't want to bet the over either. It's one of those games. Unless it was over Friday, then we're not afraid on over Fridays. Now, Will, you're a resident Nationals fan. Is this game going over or staying under?
I like the choice of taking the money line here. Although Trevor Rogers is a good pitcher, the Nationals have been pretty effective against lefties, as Grant said, and I mentioned earlier. And I think they have a good chance of scoring a few runs on Rogers, but I don't think it's going to be enough to push this game over. I'm a little cautious after they scored 18 yesterday, and then the Marlins only scored a measly 1 run. The Marlins have scored, I think, they haven't scored over 6 runs in like 10 games. They haven't been producing offensively at all. So I don't think it's going to have to rely on the Nationals to push this one over. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree there. Grant, you're on your own. Sorry. Phillies money line versus the Yankees. Why am I going with the Phillies in this game? Why? Does anyone know?
I'm not entirely sure. Is it maybe because you're a Boston Red Sox fan and then you hate the Yankees?
I don't hate the Yankees. I like the Yankees. I say it every day. I want the Yankees to be good at baseball because just isn't fun. It's not fun when we show up and we beat them all the time. Don't talk to me about the series loss this past weekend. I don't want to hear about it. Anyways, all right. Let's look at this game. We got Aaron Nola, Domingo Germán on the mound. See, like I put my reputation on the line every day with MLB Daily Picks. I can't be biased. If I'm biased, I look bad. You know what I'm saying? Unless it works out in my favor. So I'm going to go with the better team in this game, and the better team is Philadelphia Phillies. No doubt about it. Phillies have won 4 of their past 5. Yankees, they've won 3 of their past 5. They're on 2-game winning streak. So are the Phillies. And you know what? One of those games was a 6-inning Little League World Series championship game. So I mean, and you know what? There was a fan that threw a baseball at that fan who threw the baseball at Alex Verdugo. First of all, I'm glad you're never going to go back to a baseball game again, but you were the reason the Yankees won that game. So the Yankees, I know he got suspended from all Major League Baseball stadiums for the rest of his life, but I don't think he should have got suspended from the Bronx Zoo because he gave them a win the other night. He ruined the momentum for the Boston Red Sox. Anyways, all right, let's get into this. Domingo Germán's on the bump. I don't know what I'm going to get from Domingo Germán. I don't say that facetiously. It's facts. He's been about 6 pitchers this year. He's been great, good, average, poor, mediocre, poor, horrendous. That's, I think I said those are my 6. He's been very bad this year, like at times. He's been good at times too, but you just don't know what you're going to get out of him. You got Aaron Nola on the mound. I mean, not that he's been good either. His ERA is only 0.2 lower than Germán. But the one thing I will say about Aaron Nola is he has elite strikeout ability. The Yankees are struggling to hit the baseball right now. And I'm not sold on the Yankees after beating the Red Sox for 2 games. I'm just not. I'm sorry. Red Sox are the Phillies are favored tonight, minus 126. That means sports books think they're favorites. Obviously, that's a pretty hefty favorite to go into the Bronx and win a baseball game. So I'm going to go with Phillies. What do you guys think?
Everything you said made sense. Aaron Nola's strikeout ability is what pushes it over for me, especially against a Yankees team that basically hit bombs or bust. They just swing for the fences most of the time. That's what they're going to do today in Yankee Stadium. So I have no complaints about this bet. The Yankees just haven't been the team that we expected them to be this year, and I don't think they're gonna be that team anytime soon.
You know, I knew the Yankees were having trouble when, like, over the All-Star break, I think Clint Frazier, like, got engaged, and, like, that was the biggest news around the Yankees. Like, that's what Yankees fans are happy Clint Frazier got engaged, but, like, they're not winning baseball games. That was my, like, thought.
Yeah, it's that same mindset for the Orioles, but the Orioles have, like, 20 less wins. They were celebrating that John Means is finally back, like it's going to change their season, but they're 40 games under 500 or something like that. So every team takes their wins where they can. The Yankees, it was Clint Frazier getting married. So
I bet New York Yankees -1.5 and over 6.5 in my 10-team parlay. Where did you get 6.5 from in the over? Did I just skip over that today?
I've got it at 9.
Yeah, it's at 9.
Is that for the Yankees to score over 6.5 runs? Or
yeah, that must be Yankees scoring over. It's got to be Yankees scoring over. That's high for them though. Yeah, Mr. Walker, give us another comment where you got that from. Because I got
that the 6.5 total is interesting though. We were talking about Aaron Nola. Well, you were talking about Herman. You don't know what pitcher you're gonna get from him.
Yeah.
Aaron Nola, his style is very interesting in this matchup. Tanner, you brought it up first. He has that elite strikeout ability, but at the same time, a lot of the runs he gives up are on home runs. So going against the bats of the Yankees, who we know, it doesn't take long for them to heat up. It's just do they catch the ball or not? The Yankees could score 0 runs or they could score 10. It just depends on which way it goes. So I think that's an interesting pick if it is 6.5 for the Yankees specifically.
It's got to be if FanDuel alternate line picks is the alternate. Let me check out FanDuel. I gotta look this up. Alternate line. Yeah, alternate run lines. Okay. All right.
That's
So
confusing to me if the over-under's at like 9, though, isn't it?
No, but the alternate totals. Okay, so he got 6.5 for -300. So yeah, he's putting that in his parlay. All right, yeah. So that makes sense. Hey, you know what, Mr. Walker, you're a friend of the program, so I'm hoping Yankees can cover on that for you. I don't think it's going to happen, but you know what, friend of the program, we got to support you. All right, let's move on here. We got Grant, Rockies, Mariners. We'll go with you under 11. I like this. Domingo Herman is on the mound, but you know who's on the mound? Marco Gonzalez. I don't like him very much.
Domingo Herman. I think you mean Herman Marquez.
I'm messing with my mind. Yeah. You know what I meant. Stop
I knew.
With me.
It was another one of your transitions from one Herman to the other Herman. I saw where you were going with it. It just came out a little wrong. So both these teams, the Mariners, I mean, they have a decent record at 50 and 44, but both of these teams are in the bottom 10 in total scoring. And with, this over under 11, that's on the higher end of what you get for over under lines. Rockies, they just beat the Dodgers, so props to them. But it was only 6-5. It's not exactly a huge outing. Good performance against the Dodgers, but in this matchup, just neither team has been scoring very well. Herman Marquez, you mentioned it. He's on the mound. He's 8-6 with a 3.3 ERA. Not the best in the league, but certainly on the better end of things. So I'm struggling to see why they set this at 11. If it was 9, that would make more sense to me. But with it being this high, I've got to take the under.
Yeah, I mean, let me think. Why would they set that 11? So, I mean, my biggest guess is Marco Gonzalez. And is the game in Colorado?
Yeah, it's at Coors Field.
Yeah, okay, so it's in Colorado.
They like putting those over-unders high at Coors Field where the balls can fly. So,
but
I'm not confused by the number. It's with two teams that don't score too much. It's hard to bet the over in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go under here as well. All right, well, we'll go to you here. Angels, Athletics, under of 9. It's under Tuesday on the show, it seems like.
I mean, the Angels and Athletics, you got Caprillion on the mound for the Athletics. I think it's Suarez for the Angels. Pretty solid pitching matchup here. And the Athletics just haven't really been able to score runs recently. That's usually what I look at. I look at the trends, what team is scoring and what team is not. And both of these teams haven't really done their job scoring. And with two pitchers on the mound that are pitching pretty well in the season, I'm going to rely on the bats not to heat up in this one, and I'm just going to take the under.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this game, Caprilli, and also I want to say one thing. I said yesterday, I don't think I said on this show, I said on a different show, but don't get confused by the Shohei Ohtani factor. Look what happened. Ohtani pitched well yesterday, and they still lost. Don't get confused by the media and bet on the Angels just because Shohei Ohtani's on the mound. I used to say do that, and it's wrong. Don't do that.
I was going to ask you if you saw that.
That doesn't apply. That rule only applies with Mike Trout. If Mike Trout's there, maybe I'll do that, but not anymore. Grant, what's your thoughts on this?
So I was looking at this bet earlier. I couldn't get a good read on the over under, so I was thinking about taking someone on the money line, but then I found what I thought would be better options elsewhere. But the matchup itself interests me. There is talent, no doubt about it, on these teams, so it could easily go over. But in these situations where both teams, especially the Athletics, are struggling lately, and they're going into this matchup where you say it's not quite even, but it's also definitely not lopsided, which means both teams are probably going to be playing with some of the effort that they've been given over the last couple of weeks. Nobody's going to take a night off. Then you look at the recent trends; they aren't scoring. Keep it under again.
Yeah, 100%. Love that bet out of you, Grant. I love Caprillion. I'm a big Caprillion guy. I don't really know how to say his last name, spell his last name, but I'm a big fan of what he does on the mound. So I'm gonna go with you two here on the under. All right, Will, what do you think? You think the Angels go over just because Shohei Ohtani?
Well, if you don't remember, Tanner, this was actually my bet, so the credit you should be giving is to me. But
I'm losing my mind here. I'm having a rough day on my shows. Like this morning, I started off, I was like jumbling my words and stuff, and now I'm like, you know why? Because I'm ready to go right now. I'm ready to go for one bet on the show. That's why I'm losing my mind. I'm going to get right into it because you know what? You guys are making fun of me. I don't want to hear it today. Red Sox, Blue Jays over 11.5. Guess what? Will, I forgot it was your bet for one reason. You know why?
No, enlighten me.
What day is it, Will?
It's probably the best day of every Parlay Power Hour
Don't
weekend.
steal my thunder. Don't steal this. I get to say it. It's Garrett freaking Richards Day. You know what that means? It's over day here on Parlay Power Hour. Garrett Richards has not pitched. I don't know. He's pitched well in maybe a couple games this year. I don't know. 5-5, 4.91 ERA, 91 innings. He's given up 111 hits. Okay, he's averaging over a hit an inning. He's only struck out 73. He's walked 43 batters in 91 innings. Do we understand that? He has walked 43 batters in 91 innings, okay? See, this is how you know I'm not biased like towards a team or anything because like I honestly think Vladdy Jr. is going to absolutely demolish Garrett Richards tonight. It wouldn't surprise me if the Red Sox lose this game. I picked them to win because they still usually win when Garrett Richards is on the mound. 5-5. He gives them a chance to win because their offense is so good. But this game's going over because it's Garrett Richards Day. That's what you need to know about this. What do you guys think?
I'm perplexed on how his ERA is still at like a 4.9 because he seems to give up like 7 runs in 2 innings every outing. But he must have had like a close to a no-hitter or something at the end of like the beginning of the season that keeps the ERA so low. But I do like the over. I mean, it's Garrett Richards, so what are you going to do? And the Blue Jays are one of the better hitting teams in baseball, so no complaints.
Yeah, and yesterday they didn't hit the baseball. The Red Sox did all the hitting yesterday. I think the Blue Jays bounced back. The Red Sox cooled down a little bit. This game still goes over. 11.5 is a high total. Like, that's a very high total. I should probably buy a point, but I'm going to go with 11.5. I'm confident Garrett Richards can get this over. Grant, what do you think?
I was severely mistaken with my pick of the Blue Jays yesterday. They went down 8-0 to start the game, and from that point on, you kind of expect the teams to just shut off. If it was 4-0, 5-0, I would have held on to the confidence that the Blue Jays could come back, but 8-0 the first inning, I knew I lost that bet from the moment it started. But I picked them because of their offensive talent, and especially going against Garrett Richards. I mean, what else needs to be said? Especially with Vladdy, he's third in batting average, second in home runs, first in RBIs. You run down the list, you got Semien, Bo Bichette, all the crew. Any one of them can rip Garrett Richards a new one. And I expect at least a couple of them to do it tonight. So, yeah. Easy over. Even though it's 11.5, easy over.
Yeah, especially up in Buffalo. Now, I turned the Red Sox game on yesterday, and an 8 kind of looks like a 0 if you glance quickly. Damn, I'm jumbling my words. I need some freaking more. I think I'm dehydrated. I think that's the problem. Dehydrated. All right, so
You feel better?
Yeah, I feel better now. I'm ready to go.
Shout
out Poland Spring, sponsor us. So I quickly glance up at the scoreboard on the TV, and I see okay, 0-0. Now I look back up, and I'm like, it's 8-0 Red Sox. And then I started laughing because Grant picked the Blue Jays on the run line. That was a stupid bet. Anyways, that does it, boys. Final thoughts. Grant, the one and only Mitchell, 77-64. Final thoughts today.
My final thoughts are that it might have been a stupid bet yesterday, but the Blue Jays, I think I would take them to win tonight. And Scott Foster sucks.
All right. Will the Wizard read 50-43?
Grant made this whole show and his whole bets about hating on one referee, but yeah, he is pretty bad and hates Chris Paul. So I think there's going to be a Bucks victory tonight. Milwaukee is going to be celebrating in the streets. We're going to have a hectic Fiserv Forum, and I'm looking forward to it because I don't like the Suns. So go Bucks.
All right, 51.
Well, you can't say that about Tanner's beloved franchise. He supported his whole life.
You know what? Suns in 4. That's the mindset. I think it's done, but it was a good run. There's some teams that are meant to win championships, and there are other teams that are meant to be in championships. Okay, the Suns got there. No one's going to take that away from them. But are they going to win? I don't think so. My final thought of the day is: let's see. I got to be better. I've had 2 really bad shows today. I think it's because I didn't hydrate. I need some Gatorade. Honestly, I'm a little parched. That was my biggest issue today. But I'm going to be better tomorrow. I'm going to bounce back. Let's see who's going to bounce back tonight in the league.
Blue Jays.
I don't think so. I think they score runs. I don't know if they bounce back, but that's my final thought of the day. That was Parlay Power Hour for July 20th, 2021. Will, thanks for changing the date. Oh, wait, Grant changed the date because he's better.
Did you have to do that? He didn't need to do that right there. So
that was a good one. Best hour of your day, baby. Lock it up.